Welcome to the Explainer. So, you know those colossal cargo ships at the port, right? Have you ever actually wondered how they figure out exactly what's inside them down to the very last decimal point? Today, we're unpacking a massive, mind-bending logistical puzzle. It honestly looks like pure magic, but it's really this beautiful masterpiece of applied observation, geometry, and physics. Let's get right into it. Here's the challenge. Take a look at our case study for today. The bulk carrier MV Captain Buboy sitting right there at the port of Manila. She's loaded with over 19,000 tons of valuable cargo. But obviously there is no giant bathroom scale at the port you can just drive this thing onto. So how in the world do maritime pros figure out exactly how much cargo was just loaded or unloaded? Well, the answer is this fascinating procedure called a draft survey. Instead of trying to weigh the ship on land, we literally use the ocean itself as our ultimate measuring tool. A draft survey leans entirely on Archimedes' principle. A floating object displaces its own weight in water. By meticulously measuring how deep the ship sits in the water, which is its draft, before and after loading, surveyors can calculate the cargo weight with a crazy accuracy of within 0.3%. To get there, we'll break this 14-step process down into 4 logical phases: observation, geometry, physics, and final weight. All right, section 1, gathering the clues through observation. So, stepping into the shoes of a maritime detective, our very first move is reading the draft marks painted right on the ship's hull. The surveyor takes 6 readings in total: forward, midship, and aft positions on both the port and starboard sides. Now, why both sides? Well, because ships almost never sit perfectly flat. They lean. By reading both sides simultaneously, we completely minimize errors caused by the ship listing sideways. For the Captain Buboy, we're looking at readings ranging from about 6 meters up front to nearly 8.8 meters at the back. Once we've got those 6 numbers jotted down, we breeze through steps 2 and 3. We just average the port and starboard readings at each position to find the mean drafts. Up at the forward position, that averages out to 6.045 meters. Aft is 8.790 meters. And the difference between that forward depth and the aft depth, that gives us what we call the apparent trim. This reveals an apparent trim of 2.745 meters by the stern. Basically, that means the back of the ship is sitting almost 3 meters deeper in the water than the front. But here is the wild part. That 2.745 meter trim is an illusion. It's actually not the true mathematical slope of the ship. Which brings us to section 2, correcting the geometry. So why exactly is that apparent trim just an illusion? It all comes down to how ships are actually built, which leads us to step 4, the P correction factor. Notice the vertical lines here. Those mark the true mathematical perpendiculars of the ship, but the draft marks are actually painted further inward on the hull because the ends of the ship naturally curve. As the MV Captain Buboy tilts backward, those painted marks rise and sink deceptively relative to the true perpendicular lines. So we have to calculate a correction factor called P just to scale the trim slope properly. In steps 5 and 6, we apply that P correction right to our initial readings. We add 0.126 meters to the back and subtract 0.026 meters from the front. And just like that, the illusion is totally shattered. The apparent trim was 2.745 meters, but the true trim, the actual geometric tilt of the vessel at its mathematical perpendiculars, is exactly 2.897 meters by the stern. Okay, section 3, hydrostatics and trim. This is where the heavy physics comes in. With our geometry finally squared away, we take our true waterlines and cross-reference them with the custom curves of the ship's hull. Moving to step 7, we calculate the quarter mean draft, or QMD. Now, this isn't just your standard average of front, middle, and back. Check out the multiplier. The midship draft gets multiplied by 6. Why? Well, because ships aren't perfectly rectangular boxes. They're super bulky in the middle and pointy at the ends. That midship section holds the vast majority of the ship's volume, so it carries way more mathematical weight in our formula. That gives us a highly precise QMD of 7.401875 meters. In step 8, we take that magic number we just found, 7401875 meters, and we simply look it up in the ship's official hydrostatic table. This manual is basically the ship's cheat sheet. It tells us exactly how much water a hull of this unique shape displaces at any given depth. At our specific draft, the base displacement is exactly 29,646.06 tons of water. But hey, we are definitely not done with the physics yet. Because the ship is tilted backwards, the actual volume of water it displaces changes slightly. So, in step 9, we apply the first trim correction, or TC1. We've got to account for the ship's longitudinal center of flotation, its LCF. Basically, the balancing point of this massive ship isn't dead center. When we factor that in, we actually have to deduct 340.57 tons from our base displacement. Next up is step 10, the second trim correction, widely known as Nemoto's correction, and this one is just pure hydrostatic genius. When a ship trims, the wedge of the hull that is submerged at the back is structurally wider than the wedge that gets lifted out of the water at the front. It creates this nonlinear curve and buoyancy. To account for that curved waterplane effect, we run Nemoto's formula and actually add back 47.56 tons. We finally wrap up the physics phase in step 11. Archimedes' principle totally relies on water density, and as you probably know, water isn't the same everywhere. Salt water is much denser than fresh water. Right here at the port of Manila, the dock water density is exactly 1.024 tons per cubic meter. We multiply our trim-corrected displacement by this specific density ratio, and boom, we get a perfectly corrected displacement of 29,324.41 tons. Alright, the final stretch, section 4, calculating final cargo weight. So, we now know exactly how much water the ship displaces, but remember, that water represents the weight of the entire ship plus every single thing inside it. Step 12 is all about finding the dead weight. We take our corrected displacement of 29,324.41 tons and subtract what's called the lightship weight. The lightship is literally just the empty steel vessel itself, engines, cranes, the hull, the whole shebang, which for the Captain Buboy sits at 7,329 tons. Subtracting that leaves us with a dead weight of 21,995.41 tons. This number is our cargo plus all the liquids and supplies the crew actually needs to sail. To strip that down to just the cargo payload, we hit step 13. We've got to identify our deductibles. Think of this exactly like hitting the tear button on a digital kitchen scale. You have to subtract the weight of the bowl before you can weigh the flour inside it. Well, our bowl here includes the ship's ballast water, heavy fuel oil, diesel oil for the generators, drinking water for the crew, and constants like crew baggage and stores. Chief officers on these vessels keep incredibly meticulous logs of every single drop of fluid on board. Right now, the Captain Buboy is holding 1,311 tons of heavy fuel oil, 176 tons of fresh water, and so on. All of these deductibles are hidden deep inside the ship's internal tanks. When we tally every single one of them up, they equal exactly 2,045.27 tons of non-cargo weight. And that brings us right to the finish line, step 14, the final subtraction that completely solves our puzzle. We take the total dead weight we just painstakingly calculated using physics and geometry, and we subtract those deductibles we just tallied up, which brilliantly reveals the ultimate mathematically proven cargo weight of the MV Captain Buboy, exactly 19,950.14 metric tons. Honestly, no giant scales required, just some painted numbers, the ocean itself, and 14 steps of extremely rigorous mathematics. Now, you might be wondering, why on earth does this level of obsessive detail actually matter? Well, because this applied physics is literally the foundation of global trade. The final result of a draft survey is legally binding. This exact number becomes the bill of lading quantity. That's the official document trusted by international banks, buyers, and customs. We're talking millions of dollars changing hands based entirely on that plus or minus 0.3% accuracy, achieved just by using Archimedes' principle. It is just incredible to think that every single day, literal mountains of coal, grain, and steel are traded all over the world based simply on where a few painted marks sit on the water's surface. Which leaves me with a final thought for you to ponder. If we can confidently weigh 19,000 tons of hidden cargo using nothing but water and geometry, what other invisible forces and mathematical laws are silently shaping the massive logistics of our daily world? Keep exploring, keep learning, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.
Sana may natutunan kayo sa video na ito. Hanggang sa muli, kung gusto nyo ganitong content, paki-like, subscribe na rin sa ibaba. Malaking tulong po yan para lumago po ang aking munting YouTube channel. Maraming salamat po in advance. God bless you po.